The clock is ticking and the shoes are clicking against the earth. Still, the politicians continue their chase for the votes of the electorate. Meanwhile, the electorate chase after the one tool that will empower them on that day of the polls. Good evening and welcome to Nigeria 2015. I am Nelta Igwe. Many have continued to describe the shift of the election dates in varied ways. While some see it as a blessing in disguise, others think it's a ploy by some politicians for their selfish ends. Not so for many of the would-be voters, some of who have finally picked up their permanent voter cards, while others continue their search for that piece of material. Mixed as the reactions may be, this is expected. The reality, however, is here with us to prepare well for that date, characterized by a free, fair, and credible process. In the meantime, it looks like many party supporters are yet to escape from the jungle of the past era. They carry on with behaviors that are less than edifying, putting a demand on the party leaders to rein them in. Our correspondents tonight will also tell us what's going on in their various locations. Our web team also provides you a platform to air your views on the program. First, you can tweet at us using the hashtag Nigeria 2015, using the Twitter handles at the bottom of your screen, Channels TV or Nelta Igwe. Tell us your views about the preparations for the elections, or how you feel, or how it's been with you picking up your permanent voters cards. If you have further comments or questions, do send us a mail to nigeria2015@channelstv.com. As we usually tell you, you can also send us pictures or videos of events concerning the elections around you. Use our Eyewitness platform. Just download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows devices. Swipe to follow the instructions and follow to share. Joining us tonight, Bolade Oshinowo, a member of the APC campaign committee in Ogun State. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
Jallo Abdullahi, Deputy Policy Secretary of the PDP, joins us from our studios in Abuja, and Ambassador Mohammed Wali, National Supervising Commissioner of INEC, will also join us from Abuja.
Listen to your hearing.
Okay.
Are you here?
Okay. Now, what has been the situation post the postponement announcement? We're going to see some slides of some of the things that have happened beyond that. Number one of the major things that has happened after the postponement was that former President Olusegun Obasanjo decided to leave the People's Democratic Party. Having done that, there were rumors, insinuations about desires to elongate the tenure of the present administration. Then we also had the Okrika incident that happened at the Okrika APC rally. Then the major one that happened recently, quite recently as well, is victories in the insurgency war in the northeastern part of the country. This has also led to the reconciliation of over 150 families with their loved ones. Now, since that postponement and since all of this happened, Professor Attahiru Jega has visited the National Assembly to brief the Senate on the election dates shift. After over 3 hours of dialogue with the legislators, he leaves them with words that sound like this. INEC is ready, but INEC is ready as much as lies within its power, but they cannot guarantee the polls date as long as the issues do not lie within their power. According to him, it's only the military that can guarantee that. Concerning the security, the president continues to reaffirm that we will rout the Boko Haram set. Those are the words of the president, while the military spokesman says security is everyone's business. So while we are hoping that the elections will hold peacefully and credibly, everyone needs to be a little bit more sensitive, more attentive to their environment, and be more security conscious. But let's take us a little bit back to what happened on the floor of the National Assembly, indeed the floor of the Senate, when Professor Attahiru Jega visited.
INEC Chairman Professor Attahiru Jega makes his way into the Senate chamber. The Senate invited him to clear the air on some worrying issues pertaining to INEC's preparedness for the upcoming general elections. There have been widespread reports of the inability of Nigerians to collect their voters' cards and the outstanding issue of the legality of the use of card readers for the elections. Professor Jega said INEC is not violating the Constitution by using card readers for the elections. He then demonstrated how the card readers would work.
You're finished? No.
Done with the demonstration, lawmakers grilled Professor Jega on several issues. They sought to know how reliable the card readers are and what other backup plans the Commission has put on ground in the event that the card readers malfunction on election day.
In the highly unlikely event that a card reader fails, we have enough spares to deploy before the end of the accreditation at 1 p.m. and then adjust the time to gain for lost time where or if a card reader has failed. If we cannot replace before the end of accreditation, then the election in that particular voting point would be postponed to the following day when a new card reader will be provided for the election.
Although Professor Jega was optimistic that INEC would take advantage of the postponement of the elections to ensure that everything is put in place, he admitted that there were still unresolved problems.
Secondly, with regards to the question you asked about outstanding production of PVCs, I don't lie, and I will acknowledge that as I speak with you, there are about 800 to 1 million cards yet to be produced.
The postponement of the elections is already a foregone issue, but that did not stop lawmakers from calling the attention of the INEC chairman to one nagging issue.
Come 28th of March and 11th of April, will you commit yourself to us and Nigerians about the sanctity of these dates?
It's a very difficult question to answer because, yes, let me land. I have said consistently that there are things under the control of an electoral commission. There are things that are not under the control of an electoral commission. For things that are under our control, we can give definite and categoric assurances. What is not under our control, it's futile, it's fruitless, it's useless to give a definite guarantee on them. So frankly, I think that question should be directed appropriately.
The to and fro between federal lawmakers and INEC chairman Professor Atahiru Jega lasted for more than 3 hours, with the INEC chairman trying to explain to lawmakers how the commission was dealing with issues with logistics, issues of the distribution of permanent voters' cards, and the legality or otherwise of the use of card readers for these elections. But despite the problems associated with PVCs and the card readers, Professor Jega maintained that they remain the most viable options for now for ensuring credible elections. Professor Jega also foreclosed the use of temporary voters' cards for the 2015 general elections. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.